again, guys. So it's been a while, a very long while since the last video and even longer while since the last Retribution guide. I would make this guide much faster, but I was sick for a very long time. Anyway, it's not about my sickness, but it's about Tyranids.
We shall show these is it pronounced Tyranids or Tyranids?
That is a very controversial topic, Captain.
What? Right. Well, we shall show these aliens.
In lore, Tyranids are Xenos from a different galaxy that consume all biomass on the planet. By many, they are considered the biggest threat not only to the Imperium but to entire life in our galaxy. There are billions of them, and many believe that this is only a small part of the incoming force. Everything Tyranids use, including for example spaceships and weapons, is biological. They evolve and adapt extremely quickly. For example, after opening of the Great Rift, Tyranids created entire fleet dedicated to fighting warp entities, demons. In-game, Tyranids are the most unique faction. A mix of basic units that are all about quantity, and the rest of the units are more about quality. When I first started playing Tyranids, they were extremely random for me. The same unit fighting the same unit in some cases easily won and in some cases easily lost. That is because Tyranids don't really benefit from upgrades but from synapses, which are buffs emitted by some units. I will explain this simply on Hormagan's Brood. With upgrade you get extra 10% health and damage. This is the only upgrade for the unit and everything you can get. But with the Hive Tyrant upgraded you can get another 25% of health. Upgraded warriors give you another 75% health upgrade and melee skill upgrade by 10. Zoanthrope gives you 4.5 buff to Regeneration. And finally Swarmlord. It increases the speed of all allied infantry by 50% and it also allows you to reinforce. I forgot to mention basic Synapse. It is emitted, for example, by Hive Tyrant and unupgraded warriors, and it reduces damage you receive by 20%. So if you play Lictor Alpha or Ravener Alpha, you won't have this buff in your first fights, as long as you don't make warriors. So all in all, we just buffed this unit from 700 HP to 1400 HP, we doubled it. And it also got a lot of different bonuses as well. This means that good army build is very important with Tyranids, and also that single unit of Tyranid army is in most cases inferior to similar unit of a different army. Tyranids are extremely good in well-built hordes, but at the same time these hordes are great targets for globals and area of effect attacks. Sometimes you have to spread your army because you don't have a choice and it hurts a lot. Also, smart players will always focus their fire on the synaptic creatures. You are not only losing buffs, but you also get damage and knockback if one of these units' models is killed. Secondly, Tyranids uniquely don't have vehicles, they have monsters. Sadly, they have only 3 and 2 of them are tier 3 units, so below tier 3 you have only one monster, and it is Tyrant Guard. It is really good, but it's a light vehicle, it's not a dreadnought or anything like that. Monsters are not fixed by other units, they regenerate slowly on the battlefield and very quickly in your base. This means that you don't need repair units and you don't have to repair your monsters. They are damaged and affected by anti-tank weapons just like vehicles, but not all abilities will work on them. For example, Flash over Steel. Space Marine's Power Fist ability won't work on Tyranids because they are not vehicles, but at the same time you won't get buffs from your allies, for example speed buff from Orc's global ability. You also can't repair your monsters in combat or on battlefield. You can't help your teammates and they can't help you. All in all, I believe that the fact that monsters are not vehicles is an advantage in 1v1 and disadvantage in 2v2 or any team-based game mode. All other factions can repair each other's units, vehicles, and they can buff each other if they have abilities for that. Tyranids have huge problem with buildings, because they don't regenerate and Tyranids don't have repair ability. This means that all damage done to Tyranid building is permanent, unless your friend different faction will come and repair it. This is very unfair, for example in Annihilation, where it is common to repair your base a lot. If we talk about buildings, Tyranids have unique turret. It can shoot over obstacles and have a knockback effect, but all in all I believe this is the worst turret in the entire game. Small units can easily avoid its fire and can do anything they want in your base. They don't do more damage the closer the target is, and the suppression effect has a lot smaller area. Tyranids have, in my opinion, the best monster super heavy unit. It has less health than Avatar and Great Unclean One, but it has vehicle armor. This means that only anti-tank weapons will work against it, and weapons like, for example, plasma rifles won't really do anything. It also buffs your units and allows them to reinforce, which is great. It has two really great abilities: Leech Essence, which allows you to damage your enemies and at the same time heal your super heavy unit. Blade Flurry allows you to damage your enemies, but also make space, for example to run away. Tyranids heroes are really good in T1 and T2, they have tons of good upgrades and abilities. They are also great for supporting your army, they can buff your HP or damage or dig tunnels. Honestly, the only problem I have is the fact that Lictor Alpha and Ravener Alpha don't have basic Synapse, and except one ability they don't have at all anti-tank or universal weapons. If we talk about global abilities, Tyranids have a lot of spawning abilities. But, at least in my opinion, they are bad, because for pretty much the same price you get in T2, T1 unupgraded unit. Honestly, this isn't the best deal you can get, and other global abilities are not good either. The Rhino form is okay nuke. It's not the best, it's not the worst. It deals okay damage in 7 points and buffs your units. So Tyranids, the most unique faction in Dawn of War Retribution. They are very strong in well-built hordes. They can be buffed by many units and in many ways. They have a lot of melee units, very good melee units. Their heroes are very strong in T1 and T2. Their super heavy monster is also one of the best. At the same time, hordes are easy targets for globals and area of effect attacks. Units without buffs are much weaker. Synaptic creatures are always priority targets and losing them hurts. You don't get repair ability and below T3 you get only one vehicle or monster. If you know how to build your horde and how to keep it alive, you can eat any enemy you will face. I think that's it for this guide, and I believe only elders left. So stay safe guys, and see you soon.